The Drew Carey Show was an insanely popular sitcom on ABC during a formative time in pop culture. It was a reflection of the 90s and early 2000s, capturing what it meant to be average in a time where everybody was questioning the American dream, which was a huge hit at my house because we were all big, broke, dumb idiots.
Oh, I tried to go to the hospital, but they sent me away.
Don't worry, I'm a janitor.
My mom and I watched it every week together. In kindergarten, Mrs. Osborne asked us, "What day of the week is it today?" And I shouted, "Wednesday, because Drew Carey's on tonight." And she said, "We don't need the TV guide." Drew Carey and the showrunner Bruce Helford made some crucial calls that spoke to real people. But my big question now is, does it hold up? I remember it being particularly mean-spirited, but how bad did it really get?
All right, lay down the tarps and get up the safety goggles, because I'm gonna eat until the cows come home.
Then he's gonna eat the cows.
But anyway, it's time for a rewatch. I couldn't find the show streaming anywhere, so I decided that this was a show I was happy to buy on iTunes, but I would just start with season 1. So I bought it, and season 1 is a small seed of where the show would go. It's mostly realistic apart from the pool table in the backyard in Cleveland. And Drew has a love interest that's an arc throughout this season. There's also an arc with a sexual harassment lawsuit, which probably wouldn't be something they're proud of today, as well as a bunch of little things that you can expect out of a 90s sitcom. But this isn't the show I remembered. The things I was looking forward to were the Batmobile, the live shows, the pop-up shows, the what's wrong with this episode, the cameos from Whose Line cast members, the musical numbers, and dancing, of which there was a ton in this show. But when I went to buy season 2, it wasn't on iTunes. I checked everywhere and nobody had it. It wasn't even on DVD. There were years and years of forum posts of people wondering where they could go to watch it. Nothing. There are even people selling weird USB sticks with copies of the show on it. And I have a feeling that those USB sticks are illegal. Well, lucky for me, I forgot I actually recorded every single episode on VHS, and I just had to digitize them. So now I have my way to watch it. It gets so much better after season 1, but this isn't a review of the show. Our mission is to figure out why this show is so hard to find. A show that was once a huge hit and part of the Disney empire has become this elusive relic. The performers in Drew Carey's sphere were everywhere on ABC at the time. There are endless Whose Line compilations on YouTube, but next to no buzz about this show ever when it was just as big with the same pool of talent. Is this a case of forgotten nostalgia? Did the show's content play a role in the disappearance?
Hey, Democrats, you can all just kiss my ass, just kiss it. Cover up and kiss it.
I've wondered this for years, and I decided it's finally time to make this video. I've had the idea for a long time. Let's do it. Here's me reaching out to Drew for a comment. I'm not beyond the raw dog cold DM to major celebrities. But today, this morning, August 13th, after 20 years of being off the air, a miracle occurred. That's right, Drew Carey is streaming. All of it. The thing a lot of people loved about this show was the musical references. Music is obviously a core part of who he is, so the show is filled with needle drops. A needle drop is when a known song is used in a movie or on TV, and you license the song so that you can use it. This show has so many, and with how music changes over time, it's really hard to make a clean deal to put it on a new platform like streaming when it comes along. So this music licensing problem only gets worse over time. It's like a fungus spreading throughout the show of things that you cannot put on streaming. That's why the show never even made it to DVD past season 1. I was doing all kinds of research trying to figure out how people were feeling about this, and the consensus is really clear. The service that it's available on, Plex, is awful to use. Just terrible. There are so many ads and you can't buy your way out of them. Also, the way that they fixed the needle drop problem is removing the music. You might think that they would have to go back to their old project files and create new versions with different music swapped in. But this part's pretty interesting. I used to work at a post-production broadcast facility, and when you would master something, each tape that you would use, like a Digibeta tape, which is probably what they had their episodes stored on, would have 8 tracks of audio. The first 2 are for the mix. That's everything put together. The second 2 are for just dialogue, then just music, then just sound effects. So you can quickly remaster something and swap out the music without affecting anything else. I'd like to emphasize quickly, because that's clearly what's been done here. It's a hack job. Some things have been swapped to generic music, and some episodes are straight up missing. Naturally, this has left a lot of people pretty upset, to which I say, what's your deal? Get over it. The show was nowhere except for on these weird TV captures for the longest time. I feel like we should be happy that it's on this terrible streaming service and in a really poor state. Because as I was preparing to do this video, I put all the recordings on my phone and I've been airplaying them to my TV, which is the cleanest way I can do it, which still kind of sucks. And if there are missing episodes, if there are episodes that clearly have a needle drop that would probably be better with it, I'll just go back to those recordings. Because when I shouted to Mrs. Osborne, "It's Wednesday because Drew Carey's on tonight," I wasn't thinking about what Lewis and Oswald and Kate and Drew were doing that week. I was thinking about the time that I would spend with my mom. This was our thing that we did together. I was a 5-year-old who liked hanging out with his mom on Wednesday nights. So there's something about those TV captures, the Superstation logo in the corner of it, the static on the screen. I don't mind it, because vintage TV has this ability to transport you back to where you were and how old you were at the time, and you remember what time of day it was. Was it summertime? How far away from the TV were you? There's a quote from Dr. Seuss that grandmas love. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Well, in this case, I'd say, don't cry because you can't listen to Panama by Van Halen on the Drew Carey Show. Smile because it's on Plex and you have old recordings that you can go back to. They're not hard to find. Also, if you get 95% of the show intact, who cares? What a dumb thing to get riled up about. Now, the big question of does it hold up? Is it problematic? All that remains to be seen. And it's going to take me a while to get through this show because there are 10 minutes of ads on every episode. But you know what? I'm going to do it. Just got to the Batmobile and I'm having a great time. Anyway, if you liked what we talked about today, subscribe to the channel, like the video. If you loved what we talked about today, leave a comment and tell me what Drew Carey transports you back to. What are your memories with the show? All right, that's it. I'm going to hang up now.